Well, good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So today is day 45 of the Redeeming Eden cycle tour across America to bring awareness that addiction recovery options are available. Whether they be churches, rescue missions, celebrate recoveries, there are people out there who want to talk to you if you're addicted, no charge, that just want to help you develop a relationship with Jesus. So, great night last night. I just got everything packed up here. Yeah, and I am headed out toward Dillon, which is about 20 miles away, and then I think the next town is another 30. I've got one big pass called Badger Pass to go over, and then once I go over Badger Pass, it should be downhill all the way to the town that I looked at. I think it's called Ennis. Twin Bridges or Ennis. Maybe Twin Bridges. Either way. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do this morning. I hope I can be in Dillon by lunchtime. It's 9:30 now. But yeah, so such a peaceful night last night. I'm out here in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And so it got so dark and so pretty. The stars were just everywhere. I watched that sunset yesterday, and then I just kind of watched the stars. And then about 10:30 last night, a rock fell off of that face, and I heard it start to, clack, clack, clack as it came down. And so it caught my attention, and I looked that way through the top of the tent. And I guess there's a lot of quartz in this rock because it just sparked. It threw sparks like shooting stars through the night all the way down the hill every time it hit. So that was really pretty to watch. But yeah, it's starting to get a little warm today. Direct sunlight, no clouds, not a cloud in the sky. And I'm still in this kind of prairie country. I don't think I'm going to get out of, back into a forest until closer to Yellowstone. So not too terribly excited about that, but I don't think it's going to get above 80 either way. It's still not 108 degrees. So I think I can handle it. A guy here this morning that pulled up gave me a bottle of water, and he went to go fish, was telling me that this river, this little creek here, is famous for its fish. For the size of the river here, for the size of the creek that it is, they'll pull 18-inch trout out of it, and he said that's phenomenal. But yeah, when he pulled up, he gave me a couple bottles of water. His name was Greg. He doesn't watch YouTube, so he won't see this, but I am thankful for him. It's cool when a donation that means a lot is also a bottle of water. Especially on a day that could potentially get kind of rough going up Badger Pass. Got to 7,460 feet yesterday, and then the pass itself was at 7,400. And so, yeah, I think I go about that high again today. And after this, I start getting into the 8, 9, 10,000 foot passes. So, yeah, I'm ready for it. I am so ready for it. But in order to get to those, I got to get on the road, which is what I'm going to do right now. I love you guys. I'll see you later. So I've decided, climbing nice and slow, maybe a 4%, 5% grade over a longer distance is so much nicer than trying to climb like 6 or 7% real fast. This has been wonderful. Coming up to this pass, Badger Pass, nothing to it. I mean, I'm not sweating. It feels so good outside. Like it's almost like air-conditioned bike riding, like to the point that I could do this all day. I mean, I literally could do this all day long. No problem. I'm probably going 5, 6 miles an hour, so I'm not going fast, but no real effort, no real, it's not bad at all. But so I stopped here because I just had the coolest setup. Now, this is my RV, of course. my recreational vehicle. And I just had an RV pass by that was the perfect setup. So you're allowed to tow triples up here in Montana. So this was an RV, maybe 25, 26 feet long. Wasn't like the biggest, longest RV. Enough for a man, his wife, maybe a kid or two. Towing a Jeep Rubicon with kayaks on the top and bicycles on the back where the tire goes. And behind that, a boat. And I was like, well, that's everything you need right there. So, yeah, I thought that was really neat. Montana, I've really enjoyed having all these triples come by. It's fun to watch. Sometimes it's a truck with 2 boats. Sometimes, you know, it's just like that. But yeah, that was the coolest setup yet. But I'm almost here to the top, so y'all will see that in just a minute. All right, so I made it to the top of Badger Pass. It looks like it's unnamed. I'm at the highest point on it that I can see. And this is Taylor Creek Road, which is the stagecoach road that used to come up over the pass. So yeah, another time that I cross this pass, all of a sudden I get cell service from Dillon. Phone just non-stop. So I'm going to reply to all of you as quickly as I can when I get down into town. But yeah, last night was no service, really no service from the time that I left Jackson. But it was nice. It was a beautiful ride. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cruise down this hill, and you'll see that right about now. Alright, so I stopped here at Mac's Last Cast and got the burger topped with sriracha, bacon, jalapenos, and Swiss. Oh, this looks so good. I'm starving. Alright, so I stopped here and had lunch at Mac's Last Cast. And I'd looked around town at several different places, trying to find out, what could I eat for lunch. And I almost went to the Klondike, which is another kind of casino thing with food there. And I looked up on Yelp, and they said it was like, Cisco type food, frozen patties, frozen stuff. And I was like, well, I'm doing 50 miles today, so I want to make sure that I have a good meal. And so I looked up these guys, and they had just awesome reviews, awesome pictures of their food. Everything looked great. It was a little bit out of my price range, but I was like, you know what? It's worth it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So, get in here, order my lunch, eat it. And the bartender, Wes, who had been serving me, had asked me, halfway through my meal, hey, what are you doing? I gave him the sticker, kind of told him I was trying to build a rehab. And so we had a little bit more of a conversation. Didn't think anything else about it. Got my phone charged, got my backup battery bank charged. Just kind of went about, my normal course of action at a restaurant. When I got up to pay the check, he said it's on me. So thank you so much, Wes. You just don't know how awesome it is. I appreciate you, and I cannot thank you enough. Your name will be at the end of this video as a thank you for donating to Redeeming Eden. So, yeah. Now I'm going to make a couple of phone calls, and then I've got 25 more miles to go. So, also, Transamerica Trail Riders, when you get to the 0 mile marker at I-15, you still have 5 miles to go to get to Dillon. I was not expecting that, so it was about 25 miles total from where I was to where I'm at now, but can't stay here long. Got to keep moving. Love you guys. I'll see you later. What a gem this turned out to be. So all of my videos so far today, I couldn't do it. It was just too windy. Everything I tried to record was just wop, 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 wop. And I was like, I can't put that on. So back in Dillon, after I ate lunch, I went down to the hardware store. It was actually like a ranch store, and got this skull cap. So my helmet, the inside liner has been kind of tearing out over time. And it only left like the little hook and loop, the hook sections, the hard plastic sections of the Velcro on my head. And so I've been looking for a welding store or anything, and I found this like ranch store that had some welders caps. So I went ahead and got one so that I can protect my head from my helmet and protect my head from the sun. Figured it was going to be a nice 20-something mile ride out of Dillon up to here. Down to here, it looked downhill all the way. It is flat. It only drops like 278 feet over 15 miles. And strong wind. From the time that I recorded that shot of the Beaverhead, when I came around the Beaverhead, which really looked like a Beaverhead, thought that was kind of interesting. But as soon as I came around it and got right out here in the middle of this valley, it was just a direct headwind. And the traffic that would come by would just... I was pushed off the road 3 separate times from 18-wheelers coming by. Just the velocity of the wind that they were pushing, since they were going into the wind. You know, let's say they're doing 70 and a 20-mile-an-hour headwind, 90-mile-an-hour gusts just coming off the truck and hitting me hard. And so, yeah, either way, I thought it was going to be a nice, easy afternoon. It wasn't. It was rough. I mean, I was in 1.2, 1.3 most of the way, 5 miles an hour max, just huffing it. But I got here to Twin Bridges, and I asked somebody here at the park, I said, what is open for food? They said, I think the shack is open, but they're closed. They're closing down. So I rushed over there to the shack, and they had closed everything, and I said, you know, can you guys still make a to-go order? And they said, well, what do you want? We've already shut the grill down. I said, well, what's easiest for you to make? And they said, probably a pizza. So I was like, sold. Yeah, so I got my jalapeno-roni pizza ready to eat. Got here to the Bill White Bike Camp, and it's so nice. It's donation based. They got a little like metal thing that you drop the donation in inside. And shower, toilet, inside area with couches, electrical outlets. They've even got like some coffee stuff, a grill, picnic tables, the whole 9 yards, and it's right on the Beaverhead River. So, you know, that's really neat. It is so close to this river. The thing is, though, is that they said where to camp on the map, like inside the building, but where they said to camp, the sprinklers are on right now. So I don't really know what I'm going to do. I think that I'm going to put my tent down on this concrete pad. The last thing I want to do is wake up to a 40-degree morning with water all over me. So anyway, 54.72 miles today. Got some back. Man, great ride. A lot of work. First half of the day, a lot of work getting up the hill. Wasn't too terribly bad. The last half mile was rough. Downhill all the way into Dillon. You know, and then just kind of out of Dillon to Twin Bridges. The wind was the only issue. No bike lanes and a lot of wind. So, yeah, that is it for the day. If you know of anyone who has passed away from any addiction-related issue, please drop a name in the comment. Find me on Facebook, Adam Lineberry, Mobile, Alabama. You can private message me, and I will ride for your person. It would be my honor to do so. If you know anyone who is addicted to anything, gambling, anything, share this with them. I don't want to see anybody else die from addiction, and all kinds of addiction can take you to the grave. If you know anyone who's in recovery, share this with them. We're all in it together. I need your prayers as much as I'm praying for you. And last but not least, don't forget that Redeeming Eden is a non-profit ministry through International Gospel Outreach. I will put a link in the description. Just click the down arrow and you can find how you can donate to this ministry. Any proceeds left over after the bike ride, depending on how many bike rides I do to cover 48 states, will all go to funding building the rehab. So again, thank you so much for your donations. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for clicking that subscribe button. And yeah, from here in Twin Bridges, Montana, I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.